Today's Rashi study is Parshas Re'eh, chapter 11, verse 26. Re'eh Anochi Noseg Lefnechem Hayom. Behold, I'm going to place before you today bracha kala, the blessing and the curse. Esa bracha, what's the blessing? Asher tishmu al mitzvot Hashem Elokechem. Excuse me. The blessing is that you shall listen to the commandments of Hashem your God. That I'm commanding you today. Let's see what Rashi says. See, I'm placing before you. These are the blessings. The blessings that are being referred to here are not the blessings that follow in this Torah portion, because the verses that follow don't have a blessing. It speaks about the blessings and the curses which will appear in chapter 27, verses 15 through 26, where the Jewish people are told that after they enter the land of Israel, the land of Canaan, they're going to go to two mountains that face each other, Mount Gerizim and Mount Eval. And those two mountains that face each other will be where on the top of those mountains will be the blessings and the curses. So that's what it says. It says, these people shall stand to bless the people on Mount Gerizim, and the other tribes will stand on Mount Eval, and all the Levites will answer. So that's what's going to happen. So that's what this is referring to. Et habracha, the blessing, al manat asher tishmu, so that you listen to the blessings. Va'klala, and the curses, im lo tishmu, if you don't listen, al mitzvot Hashem Elokechem, if you don't listen to the commandments of Hashem your God, v'sartem min haderech, and depart from the path asher anochi mitzavetchem hayom, that I command you today, v'alachet achrei ohem achirim, you follow false gods, asher lo yidatem, that you did not know. That's Rashi. Rashi says, this is teaching us, it says that you depart from the path that I'm commanding you, you go after false gods. L'madata, we learn from here, Shekoah Oved Avodah Zarah, Gesundheit, Shepsel, Gesundheit. Whoever worships idolatry, Hareu Sar Mikol Haderech, Shenitztabel Yisrael. He has departed from the entire path the Jewish people are commanded. So from here we learn a passage which we had this recently in Daf Yomi. Whoever believes in idolatry, it's like you're denying the Torah in its entirety. If you believe in idolatry, it's like you're denying the Torah in its entirety. V'natata et habracha al har Gerizim, and you shall place the blessings. No. V'ayaki yaviacha Hashem Elokecha ha'aretz asher teva Hashem l'rishta. You come to the land that Hashem gives you there to inherit, and you shall place the blessings on Mount Gerizim, v'takolah al har Eval. Anybody ever been to Mount Gerizim and Mount Eval? I think we were there together, Aviva and Mordechai. We were there together, maybe around 15 years ago. Yes. We had a trip to the land of Israel, and we went to Mount Gerizim and Mount Eval. One day again, we could go. Shepsel, one day we'll go again. Elon, do you have a chumash? Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, you went to it right though, or you like the sweatshirt?
Up in the sweatshirt, huh?
Yeah, you're repping it. They should be so lucky as to have you rep them. They should be so lucky, Elon.
Lucky.
What?
Are that lucky?
You went there?
Like
oh, you're right. It's true. They are that lucky.
Rashi too.
Where'd you go?
Rashi.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't have any good merch from them, but
they could supply it too.
Yeah.
We know how to get it.
Well, they gave me a couple of shirts, but they were way too big, so I'm not gonna wear that. Okay, so you gave the blessing on Mount Gerizim and the curse on Mount Eval. So Rashi says, Yat mevarcha etam, those who bless should stand on Mount Gerizim. Rashi says Rashi's saying that they weren't the ones who did the blessing. Who did the blessing? Half the tribe stood on Mount Gerizim, and the other half stood on Mount Eval. And who recited the blessings? The Levites who stood in the middle. They turned to Mount Gerizim and recited a blessing.
they turned toward Mount Eval and they recited the curses. But the Levites are the ones who spoke. It's not that those who do the blessings should be on Mount Gerizim, those who are hearing the blessings. That's what Rashi says. Al Har Gerizim, it means towards Mount Gerizim. They would turn their faces and begin with a blessing. And what are the blessings? Blessed is the man who does not make a molten image. And each of the curses in the passage, they said first with the language of blessing, and afterwards they turned their faces toward Mount Eval and they said with the expression of curses. So that's the concept. You had a question, Shepsel?
This whole thing is just always kind of mystified me as to what's going on here. What's going on coming into the land?
Come into the land, and you have to basically get the facts. The fact is, we have a choice. We can choose a life of a blessing or a life of a curse. It's all up to us. And so it's not enough just to teach it. We have to act it out. We have to have the theater. Because otherwise we won't believe it. How many times have we sat through classes, it goes through one ear and out the other ear. But if we act it out, then it'll become visceral. It's amazing how everybody knows, people can objectively know what the right way to lead our life is. The right way to lead our life is to serve God, be disciplined, don't follow false idols, but we still make all those mistakes. I cut you off, Thera. I apologize. Thera, I cut you off. You're about to say something.
Determine who is on which mountain.
It says here in chapter 29, I just referred to it, but I said that the Torah tells us in verse 15, it says, what is it? It said in chapter 27, verse 15, it said, actually verse 12, these shall stand to bless the people on Mount Gerizim, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Yosef, Binyamin, and these shall stand to receive the curses, Reuven, Gad, Asher, Zevulun, Dan, Naphtali. Right. So why were these tribes picked?
Something wrong?
I don't know why. No, not that they were. The blessings and the curses went on whoever followed it. But I don't know why were these tribes picked. I'm not sure. Maybe the Gemara mentions it, but I don't remember. It's an excellent question. Rabbi Yosef, if you could pull up Tractate Sota 32a and 37b, maybe it tells us there. But I don't think it does. I don't remember it telling us there. So we have to do further research, Thera. It's a great question. Okay. So I'm sorry, I don't have the answer, but guess what? I'll be on a plane for 10 hours each way, maybe 12. I'll have time, God willing, to look into that. All right, so then it says, verse 30. You want to read the pasuk, Elon? Chapter 11, verse 30. What page is it?
What portion?
10:13.
Page 1013. You were very close, Elon. Very close. I feel like that sweatshirt gets a lot of play because people come in here, they wear it, no matter like if they feel like they need it to.
That's kind of gross.
No, why? They need to enhance their attire. They just put it on.
Do we wash it ever?
Why? It might even be Sam's.
What?
That sweatshirt.
I didn't go to the right time
Oh.
Shraga.
Okay, go on, read the pasuk. Yeah.
It's possible that these tribes were not considered or selected because they were considered the more distinguished tribes, as they were the sons of Leah and they.
Is that what Rabbi Steinzelt says in his commentary? Does he have a source? His footnotes are in the back.
Looking that up.
What?
Looking that up.
Okay, see if you can find that answer. That would be helpful. I like that. Okay, go on, Elon, please.
We'll pause it again.
Pasuk 30.
30, okay.
Lamed.
Hello, Hema, Be'eber Hayardin, Akore Derech, Nivo Hashemesh, Be'eretz Hakana'ani, Hayoshev Be'arava, Mol Hagilgal, Eitel Elone Moab.
Beautiful. So where are these cities of Mount Gerizim? Where are these mountains? Mount Gerizim and Mount Eval. Halohema, are they not? Rashi says, Natan bem siman. God gave a siman. He's telling us where. Acharei derech mevoah shemesh. They're beyond mevoah shemesh. Meaning Rashi says this means they're after a distance beyond the crossing of the Jordan. Derech mevoah shemesh means lahala min hayarden, beyond the Jordan into the west. And the Rashi says the trop Tama Mikra Mochiach proves that this is the way to read it, because there are two things. Acharei is one word, and then Derech Mevoah Shemesh is another word. That's what Rashi says, because they have two separate cantillation musical notes. Mula Gilgal, it's far from Gilgal. Elone Moreh. Shchemu, this is Shchem. So if you remember when we went there, Mordechai and Aviva, we went basically to Elon Moreh. And as we're in this place called Elon Moreh, we looked down towards Shechem, and we went and we saw these two mountains. We might have even gone to Mount Gerizim and Mount Eval. We stood on the mountaintop and we looked down, and he said, we said, we like shouted,
Yeah.
and he said, if you hear it, you can actually hear on the other mountain. That's what our the guide who was telling us told us. We didn't have anybody on the other mountain because the other mountain was under PA control, so we weren't able to determine that, but we took his word for it. I mean, at least we didn't challenge him on the spot. Is that scotch?
Yeah. Awesome.
No. Okay, no, thank you. Okay, it's fine.
Rabbi, the mountain
Okay,
peak
next
of
pasuk
Gerizim or
here,
Eval?
Sam, you read pasuk with Aleph. Yeah, we're gonna do this. This is our new program to make sure that nobody's embarrassed reading. So Kobe, you're next. We'll find out the page.
Tem Ogrim Etzer Ten, Babo led Reshet Taret, the share Shem Lechem, no ten Lachem, Mishar Kemut Ba, Vayish
Vishavtem ba, right. So Kiatem Ovrim et Hayarden, you're crossing over the Jordan to come to inherit the land that Hashem your God is giving to you. Vivishtem otah, and you will inherit it. Vishavtem, you will dwell there. Rashi says, the miracles of the Jordan will be a sign for you that you will come and take possession of the land. What are the miracles of the Jordan? Anybody know? What miracles happened at the Jordan? Does anybody remember?
Turned red.
That's a new one for me.
Oh.
What? Yeah, the river split. The river split. Here, Rabbi Yosef, are you there? Can you pull up Joshua chapter 3, verse 5? I don't know if Rabbi Yosef is there. So
Yeah, I hear you. You
Hold
didn't
on.
hear me before.
hold on one second. Rabbi Yosef.
Yes, you can't hear me?
Yeah, I can. Can you pull up chapter 3, verse 5 of
Yes,
Joshua?
I was asking you if
What?
the mountaintop that you described was two peaks of Gerizim or Gerizim and Eval.
We were on the Gerizim and Eval. That's what we were describing. Okay,
Oh,
so Joshua,
you said that you can hear him from the other side.
that's what he said. Yeah, with the valley in between. Okay, let's see here.
Har Eval is an army base, not PA.
Okay, so maybe that's why he said we can't go there. I don't know. He said something. It was 15 years ago. I don't really remember.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it says chapter. Okay, so Joshua said, "This is the go down a little bit. Go down, Rabbi Yosef. Okay, fine. Anyway, we have to look up Joshua chapter 3 and we'll see all the miracles. It's too hard for me to read
Rabbi,
it.
it's verse 13.
Okay,
And it was
fine.
when the feet of the Kohanim who were carrying the Aron of Hashem in the Jordan River stopped and they stood up as one pillar.
The Jordan River stopped and stood as one pillar right there. So that's a sign, that's a miracle. That's a sign that you will come and inherit the land. Okay, so that's the point. Very nice. Kobe, Kobe, will you please read the next pasuk?
What pasuk are we on?
Lamed Bet.
Okay. Ushmartem
Very good.
לעשות
Excellent.
את כל החוקים ואת המשפטים אשר אנוכי נותן לפניכם היום.
You read that beautifully, Kobe. Beautifully. So you shall guard to do all the laws and decrees that I'm going to command before you today. Okay, let's do the next pasuk here. Sam, you read it. Sam, chapter 12. Not you, Sam. We'll have the next generation, Sam. We'll have one generation below you. Yes. Yeah, very good.
משפטים אשר תשמרון לעשות הארץ אשר נתן השם אלוהי אבותיך לך לרשתה ותמים אשר אתם חיים על האדמה.
Okay, beautiful. So these are the laws and the judgments asher tishmeru la'asot ba'aretz asher that you should guard to do in the land that Hashem your God that God is giving to you, to inherit it all the days that you live on the land. So this is the laws that you shall do. And okay, Kobe, read the next pasuk. And we had this in the Daf Yomi recently, actually. We had this pasuk. Go on. Very good. Abei Tabdun, you must destroy.
Asher Abdu Dam Hagoyim Asher Atem Yorshim Atem Et Elohim Al Eharim Haramim Ve'al Agurot B'tachat Kol Ein Ra'an.
Very good, Kobe. So we had this in the Daf Yomi recently. Doing you should destroy all the places that all the nations are worshiping there, that you are inheriting there, that you inherit their gods that are on the mountains and the peaks and the hills, and underneath every Ranan tree. We learned to the Gemara that this means that the gods are on the mountains, but the mountain itself is not a god. So if they worship the mountain, it doesn't mean that they turn the mountain into an idolatry. You're still out of benefit from the mountain itself. And then Rashi says, what does it mean you shall destroy? Why does it have a double expression? From here we learned that one who eradicates idolatry must pull out the roots of it. You have to totally destroy it. Meaning to have to completely destroy the idolatry, not just a little bit. Okay, that Al Kol Makomos Asher Sham. You have to destroy their gods that are on the high mountains, and you have to look under every tree for their gods. Okay, now it's Elon, your turn to read the next pasuk. Pasuk Gimel, chapter 12, verse 3.
V'nitatem et mizbechotam.
Very good.
Atem et mitzevotam.
You shall destroy their altars and break their pillars. What? Yeah, okay, go on. This is all from our Daf Yomi. Go on.
Vasheraham tisrefun ba'esh.
And there are Asherahs you shall burn by fire.
Ufili lehem Elohim tigadeun.
And there are images you shall cut off.
V'ibatem et shemam min hamakom.
And you shall destroy their name from that place. So we did this in the Daf Yomi. Basically, last week, what's the difference between a mizbeach and a matzeva? Mizbeach is many stones. Matzeva is a single stone. And they basically, the matzeva is like a pedestal, which they would put there which they would put their idols on. And an Asherah is any tree that was worshipped, any tree that was worshipped. And there's a dispute in the Talmud, is it going to be considered an Asherah tree if it was planted for that, or if they worshipped it after it was planted? That's a dispute in the Talmud. V'ibadatem es shemam, and you shall destroy their names. And again, we had this in the Talmud. We had this in Tractate Avodah Zarah 46a. What does that mean? You have to call them by a derogatory name. You have to call their idols by a derogatory name. Today, if you put this out there on Twitter or something, and you say you have to call the false gods by a derogatory name, I promise you it will not be advisable to do that. You'll get canceled. Back when canceled was something, now people cancel those who cancel. But it's what the Talmud says. And if the name was called Beis Galia, which means the house of like ascent, Karla Beis Karya, call it the house of the ditch. Ain Kof, you see everyone's eye, call it Ain Coats, everyone's storm. So you switch their name. Like I'm afraid to say this, but people like the practices of some rabbis would when they passed the church, they would spit. So I don't do that. I don't do that. But I'm just saying that some rabbis do that. One time I had a rabbi who was of that ilk. He was teaching me the laws of how to keep kosher. I don't want to say his name because he's a very distinguished scholar, very, very learned man, very learned. And he was my rebbe in Yeshiva University. He was a very good teacher. Anyway, so he asked me one time, he said to me, "Oh, you're going to Brooklyn. So while you're there, can you drop me off?" Actually, by the way, I was not going to Brooklyn. But this was his way of asking me for a ride. So I said, "Okay, sure, it's my pleasure." So I drove him to Borough Park. And as we're driving there, he's like 5 blocks away. He's like, "Wow, they built this beautiful new building." He could see it from a distance. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And we drove another block. He was just talking the whole time about this building he spotted up ahead because he hadn't been there in many years. And then we pull up right near it and he sees it's a church. And he was just like devastated. It's like, "Oh my gosh, I violated 14 commandments from the Torah." He was very careful about this law, but whatever. This is, you have to know how to calibrate it. There's a lot of reasons why we don't have to apply this today. First of all, the people we live amongst, the Meiri says, that's not who it's referring to. They're not idolaters like this. These are people who have a different faith, but that we wouldn't call them these idolaters. Number two, there's something called Darkei Shalom, ways of peace. If you start speaking like this in this type of manner, you're going to cause a lot of enmity in the world. You can't cherry pick certain laws. If the whole Torah applies, then you can do this. But not everything. We're not living in the perfect world. We don't have the prophets. We don't have the Beis HaMikdash. So then just to apply this where you don't have that is going to lead to a disaster spiritually and politically and sociologically. It's not advisable. It's not the way we act anymore today. But we should still learn it and understand where it was coming from. So let's stop here.
Rabbi, on Shabbos, our son suggested that